First of all, I was so confused about the phases. I didn't realize that we weren't going to be doing furnishings and everything until phase 4. So this is kind of a misnomer, but I would like to see a little bit different handling of the furniture. I'd like to see more than one company come in and give us pictures of what they'd like to do with the cost up front. We can pick whatever company we think has the best presentation.
Okay.
But we can wait until we get ready for phase 4 for that. We don't need a motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 8, approve elections nominating committee charter. Bob?
The two co-chairs of the elections nominating committee developed a charter, and I submitted that to everyone for review. What I did put up on the slide was basically the essential functions that they're going to perform. Most of the rest of the charter is just boilerplate. Number 6 wasn't numbered in the hard copy you have, but it is in the. There was a corrected copy that inserted that number.
Are you going to go with that, Bob, or just want to show it to us?
No, I don't have to.
Okay.
It was extracted from the committee guidelines. There's nothing different. Two of the items were deleted. I don't recall what they are exactly. One, I think, didn't make much sense. And the other one?
Okay. You want to make a motion to accept it or approve it?
Second.
Any board discussion, comment, questions?
Yes, this has come up once before. I thought we had actually moved it. In the purpose, they talk that the committee is going to be recruiting candidates. And I'm not comfortable with that. And item number 2 states that they will solicit individuals to serve as candidates. I just don't know if that's proper for the committee.
You say something? With every group of candidates is put up a sign-up sheet. Yeah. But that is part of the recruitment process, is to put up a sign-up sheet. That's what we're going to do.
It seems to me if we replace the recruiting candidates, put out a sign-up sheet for candidates, that solves the problem. Because we're going to actually recruiting, approaching
Bob?
I don't know. You have to solicit people to sign up. You just can't put a sign-up sheet out there without soliciting residents to go and sign up.
Don't they send out an email telling people that it's open? And I think that's broadly how they're soliciting, by sending out an email or broadcast or put it in the newsletter or whatever, saying that it's open and sign up.
The intent wasn't to selectively go and pick people, tell them to run for the board, because the bylaws say anyone who's a member has a right to serve on the board if elected. But they weren't being selected. They were just going to go and recruit the population at large. I think we're reading a little bit more in here than
Why don't we leave the words identify and say solicit?
Identify individuals to take out and solicit.
Solicit is like putting out emails and that sort of thing. That's an advertisement. That's the way I read that. That make sense?
Does the wording work, Bob, for you to say identify and advertise for individuals to serve as candidates? Does that work? Pardon me? I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Whatever you decide. This is a board document. They crafted it up for board approval. If you wanted to change it, change it. They came up with what they thought was the best concept. And like I said, it's extracted from the committee guidelines. So they didn't modify or expand it. They deleted a couple items. But it's here for board approval. So if you don't like what's on here, you can vote on it and change it.
Consensus, you'd like to use the word advertise as opposed to solicit? What's going to make people comfortable?
I think solicit's a better word than advertise.
Leave it the way it is? Okay. Any further board comment, question? Any resident comment? Rick? At your age?
Good for you, Chris. Where's Sally?
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, the fun starts now. Okay. Item number 9, approved 2011 projects list for the general manager and board of directors. Kevin?
Yeah, this was the list we went over in detail in the board workshop. And I just want to make sure everybody has the latest version. The first bullet under general manager should read, develop a management plan for future major construction projects. Everybody have that one?
Yes.
That's what I just gave. Everybody have that one? Okay. So this document represents the changes that we discussed from the board workshop. So rather than going through each one, my suggestion is that we approve the project list unless anyone has some exceptions, because we couldn't do this at the workshop. If anyone had exceptions to what's on the list, we deal with the exceptions. But once we've ironed out what the exceptions are, and either changed them, deleted them, whatever, then we just approve the list after that. So I guess I would ask, does that... Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I would ask this, because we couldn't, once again, because we couldn't identify any things that we didn't like or wanted removed or changed at the workshop. Does anybody have any exceptions at this point?
I have a couple of questions. Now, once we approve these projects, what is the next step?
The next step then would be have the general manager come back with a game plan for his specific areas of responsibility and tell us when he thinks these will get done. And then it would be up to the board to assign the tasks that are under the board's responsibility to individual board members and have them put a plan together and come back to the board as to when they'll get theirs done.
Yeah, Bob, what I'll do is, you know how I do the 30, 60, 90 business plan for the board? I'm looking 90 days out always. I'll put this in a 12-month format, same type of format, and indicate when completion dates, what I'm going to do and when completion date will be.
I'm concerned because I don't know what metrics you use to determine whether you've completed the project or not. Does it improve customer service to residents? What's the metric that you use to assure the board that that's been done?
I'll be more than happy to work with you and have your guidance on it. I've done that with you before.
Yeah, Bob, I think that's going to be up in that particular example. It's going to be up to the general manager to come back to the board to deal with those issues. So I'll... Well, I think with the general manager, all we need to do, again, once the board decides that that list is okay, then I think we just, ask the general manager to put together a plan to come back with us.
My point is, once we approve this, then we'll go through the board of directors with us.
Yeah.
At this meeting and.
Yes.
And take volunteers, captives, or assign things.
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah. The one suggested change I guess I have is, and I brought this up at the workshop and I'll bring it up now at the meeting, is that when management gave its report to the board on the amenity analysis, it suggested that we not have a house committee to focus on restaurant operations, even though McClatchy Pullen recommended it. At that time, the board agreed with management and approved management's recommendations with the exception of not approving the, what do I want to say?
Grandfathering.
Yeah, the grandfathering in of the seasonal and 9-hole golf. So in my opinion, we've already approved management's recommendations not to have a separate house committee. So my recommendation would be to delete that project. And other than that, I'd be okay with all the other items on there.
I'd like to just say that at the time of McClatchy's report that was given by the general manager, he recommended that he would incorporate it into the lifestyle committee. He did not recommend that it would not happen.
I don't remember that record. I remember saying we don't need it. It was dysfunctional to a stellar level when it existed. And all it was a place for people to come complain about their New York pizzas. And it was ridiculous. It wasn't functional at all. We've got a sitting committee in the lifestyle committee, very functional, and it addresses these types of issues.
Okay, are we deleting this item?
Well, I think that's up to the board to decide. So I guess, if there's no other, are there any other comments? So I guess if it's
Well, you
appropriate.
make a motion.
Well, I guess that's what I was saying, is I would make a motion then that we approve this document as is, except that we delete the establishing a separate house committee.
It's on the board.
Have a second.
So that would be the
Second from the
motion I
bottom.
make.
It's on the board.
On the board, that's general manager's. Next
On the
page.
next page. Second from the bottom.
Okay. We have a motion, a second. Board discussion. Questions, comments?
I have a comment on the board of directors. The entire list. I prefer that the incoming board in February or March develop the project list, and that we not do the order.
There's a couple things on your list that we come due before that.
Well, we can approve this list, can we not? But you want to delay implementation, is what you're saying. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, I think it's presumptuous to assign the next board certain projects. They have a different mindset.
So we're going to wait till March to do my general manager review?
Well, I think there's a motion on the floor right now, which was seconded, to approve the list as is with the exception of establishing a separate house committee. I think we need to vote on that.
Then we can discuss that. Okay? Any further board comments, questions? Any resident comments? Griff?
I'd like to comment that I'm glad to see you change this from contract from gold to I've given heritage pine and fighting peasants. I'd like to congratulate you for changing goals and objectives which these previously were to projects now. And I'd like to see some type of priority and two